Hey, anime fans! Welcome to my channel. I've got an amazing story to tell today. Stay tuned for a fantastic recap that you won't want to miss. Let's get started. In a secluded mountain village, a sudden and mysterious wave of animal carcasses appears overnight, bearing signs of an unknown destructive force. In response, a specialized detective named Ugami, hailing from Tokyo, is summoned to investigate these perplexing incidents. Within the village, a group of young boys eagerly anticipate the arrival of the Tokyo detective. Among them is Yataro Kusaka, a dreamer who aspires to visit Tokyo and follow in the detective's footsteps. Yataro agrees to let his friends visit later to catch a glimpse of the Tokyo investigator with the condition that they don't disrupt his work. Amidst the excitement, Yataro playfully teases a peculiar-looking boy named Kaban, who happens to be Yataro's cousin and resides with their family. Upon Yataro's arrival, he instructs Kaban, who is known for his distinctive odor, to remain outside due to his smell. Meanwhile, Detective Ugami experiences a flat tire on the roadside. Later, Mrs. Kusaka, Yataro's mother and Inugami's client, encounters the detective and offers him a ride to their home where he will be staying. During the journey, they discuss the inexplicable animal carcasses, and Mrs. Kusaka urges the detective to keep the investigation confidential from the children to prevent them from being frightened. Inugami agrees and expresses his commitment to maintaining peace in the village. Upon arriving at the villa, Inugami encounters Kabane working in the fields. Although Kabane remains silent and only bows in greeting, Inugami assumes he may be shy or a diligent worker who prefers not to be disturbed. In the evening, while Inugami relaxes in the hot springs, Yataro offers to wash his back. During their conversation, Inugami inquires about the boy he saw in the fields, identified as Kabane, also known as Doratabo due to his unpleasant odor. Yataro reveals that Kabane was born with this smell, leading to isolation and abandonment by his parents. Mrs. Kusaka took him in, and he has lived with them ever since. Inugami requests that Yataro no longer serve him and asks Kabane to attend to his needs instead. In the morning, Kabane prepares coffee for Inugami, sparking a conversation. Inugami, aware of Kabane's nightly activities, inquires about any recent unusual occurrences. Kabane admits his involvement in disposing of the animal corpses, which typically appear on the night of the new moon. The next new moon is in 5 days, setting the stage for their anticipated vigil. During this period, Inugami assists Kabane with daily chores. One day, Inugami notices a necklace worn by Kabane and inquires about its significance. Kabane reveals that it has been with him since birth and might have belonged to his parents. However, Inugami identifies the symbol on the stone as a life stone and suggests that Kabane's parents may not have abandoned him, offering to help him locate them. On the night of the new moon, Kabane patiently waits for Inugami outside. However, Yataro, consumed by jealousy over Inugami's attention, confronts Kaban with shouts, accusing him of trying to sabotage his dream of going to Tokyo. In a fit of anger, Yataro forcefully removes Kabane's necklace, triggering a transformation into a fearsome demon monster. Terrified by Kabane's transformation, Yataro flees in panic. In his monstrous form, Kabane manages to retrieve his necklace, reverting to his normal state. Overwhelmed by guilt and sorrow for the recent animal deaths, Kabane is found crying near the barn by Inugami. Inugami reveals a secret to Kaban. He is a Kimon, a rare being with a unique ability to coexist with humans while remaining hidden. The necklace is vital for him, allowing him to maintain his human form and suppress any harmful urges toward humans. Inugami emphasizes that Kabane is not responsible for the recent incidents. Another culprit is behind them. Kabane realizes that Yataro has fled into the forest in fear after witnessing his transformation. Together, Kabane and Inugami venture into the forest to locate Yataro. They find Yataro surrounded by transformed dogs, swiftly dealing with the threat. Soon after, they encounter one of the true culprits, a demonic moose, which wastes no time attacking them. Kabane, despite his young age, demonstrates incredible strength and defeats the demonic creature in the sewers with his bare hands, earning Inugami's admiration. However, Inugami soon reveals a shocking truth to Kabane. He had been hired to eliminate Kabane, believing him to be the main culprit behind the supernatural occurrences, and Mrs. Kusaka knew the real nature of Kabane when she entrusted him to Inugami. Inugami proceeds to shoot Kabane in the head. Returning to the village, Inugami informs Mrs. Kusaka that he has completed the job and leaves with Kabane's lifeless body. Yet, Kabane's unique nature as a half-yakai, half-human allows him to regenerate, and he awakens. Inugami brings him to his office in Tokyo, where Kabane meets two other orphans, Shiki and Akira. who are also part of their race known as kimonos. Inugami offers Kabane the opportunity to stay in Tokyo and join their detective team, but he assures Kabane that he doesn't have to decide immediately. Akira, who notices Kabane's unusual scent, questions if he is a kimono like them. Inugami clarifies that Kabane is a heineo, a half-kimono, half-human hybrid with immense power due to the potent yakai within him. Despite the similarities with Shiki, who is also a heineo, Shiki is displeased with Kabane's recruitment, believing that Kabane has taken his place and even borrowed his clothes. The rivalry between them escalates when Kabane stumbles upon a wire trap in the bathroom. As Kabane frees himself from the trap, Shiki discovers Kabane's remarkable ability to heal and regenerate. The next day, they embark on their first investigative task, addressing a bug infestation in a family's home. Inugami explains that these bugs are drawn to human guilt and reveals that Kabane's unique constitution makes him immune to their feeding. Kabane volunteers to enter the infested room and discovers that stolen shoes are the source of the guilt attracting the bugs. After successfully resolving the issue, Kabane agrees to become a part of the team, and Inugami promises to assist him in finding his parent. Meanwhile, Inugami communicates with a mysterious woman named Inari, who wields considerable influence with the Tokyo police. He discusses Kabane's potential threat. The following day, Inugami sends the boys to meet with Inari at the police station. However, the officer at the station initially denies them access to Inari. Suddenly, a girl named Kan arrives and inquires about Kabane as Inari is waiting for him. When Kabane meets Inari, she behaves strangely and expresses a keen interest in Kabane's life stone. Inari reveals her intention to replicate the stone to eliminate the need for kimonos to feed on human energy. She orders Kan to eliminate the other boys waiting outside. Kan assumes Kabane's form but loses control, revealing her true kitsune form and launching an attack, setting everything ablaze. Shiki deploys his silk powers to create a protective shield and catches the suitcase containing Kabane's head. While Kan continues her fiery assault, Kabane instructs Shiki to throw him at her to end the confrontation. In midair, Kabane manages to bite Kan, defeating her. Following Kan's defeat, the illusion dissipates, revealing that her fiery powers were nothing more than smoke and mirrors. Kabane's regeneration abilities astound Shiki, leaving him bewildered about how Kabane, despite being a fellow kimono, can perform such extraordinary feats. Although initially envious, Shiki recognizes the value of their friendship and decides it's best to be on good terms with Kabane. Upon leaving the police station, they encounter Inugami, who discloses a crucial detail. The stone stolen from Kabane was, in fact, planted on Inugami himself. Inugami reveals this truth to Inari, infuriating her as she had believed she possessed the genuine stone. Inugami admonishes her for her betrayal. Later, as they return to their office, Kan reappears, still seeking Kabane's head to fulfill her mission for Inari. However, Kan's injuries catch up with her, causing her to faint. Inugami takes her inside and tends to her, providing care and nourishment. Despite Kan's persistence, Inugami resorts to a clever trick. He transforms an orange fruit into an imitation of Kabane's head, fooling Kan into believing she has obtained what she sought. Afterward, he dismisses her. Shiki points out that Kan might return for revenge once she discovers the deception. But Inugami remains unfazed, dismissing her as a minor threat. While Mihai, the vampire who resides in Inugami's office, assists behind the scenes, a new mission awaits Kabane and Akira. They are tasked with investigating a series of deaths by supernatural entities near the sewers along the riverbanks. Akira reveals his ability to manipulate water and ice, but admits his difficulty in controlling his powers during stressful situations. Their mission takes a perilous turn when they are ambushed by a colossal frog-like creature that captures Akira. Kabane manages to free him just in time, but another creature attack follows. A tanuki, serving as Inugami's messenger, delivers a message to them. The message implicates these frog creatures as rogue kimonos, having abandoned their identity and pride, causing the recent deaths in the city. Inugami provides them with a container of blood to lure these creatures out so that Kabane can eliminate them to protect the city's residents. Despite Akira's initial fear, he finds the courage to stay and assist Kabane after recalling his determination to overcome his weaknesses. As they release the demon blood into the water, the frogs swarm toward them. Kabane initially fights the creatures alone, displaying impressive strength and techniques, but their numbers become overwhelming. Akira, driven by the desire to change how others perceive him, summons a tremendous ice attack, freezing and defeating all the creatures. A few days later, while Kabane is engaged in cleaning duties, he's unexpectedly drawn into a mysterious room where he encounters Mihai, a guy who has been residing in Inugami's office, specializing in behind-the-scenes tasks. Mihai reveals that Kabane had inadvertently broken his wrist during an arm wrestling match, preventing him from playing video games and leading him to contribute to investigations instead. Subsequently, Mihai tricks Inugami into entering his room and sends Kabane and the other boys on a daring mission. They must investigate a factory where employees had been mysteriously dying one by one, but the deaths recently ceased, and the team must uncover the reason before proceeding. Shiki, one of the boys, conceals himself in his silk web, rendering him invisible by reflecting his surroundings. Inside the factory, they encounter employees behaving like mindless zombies, working endlessly in a peculiar room. The situation escalates when one of the employees tries to escape but is captured by the manager. In a shocking twist, a woman within the group transforms into a mosquito-like creature, Kamano, feeding on the escapee's brain, forcing him back to work devoid of any cognitive function. Shiki is horrified by the mosquitoes and hesitates to confront all three of them. However, Mihai insists on dealing with the situation, prompting Shiki to attempt an escape. Mihai cleverly uses a remote control car to create a diversion, causing one of the women to investigate, thus buying Shiki time to flee. At that moment, the mosquitoes, using their unique kimono abilities, attempt to locate the elusive Shiki. Nevertheless, Mihai intervenes, employing the car's electrical power to save Shiki's life. Shiki, however, remains immobilized and frozen in place. Mihai comes to a realization. Shiki's tough exterior conceals the scars of a traumatic childhood. In reality, he's perpetually afraid. Eventually, Shiki regains his composure. He skillfully deploys his silk to blend into the surroundings, veiling the entire room in silk while releasing toxins into the air to confound the kimono. He not only learns to trap the kimono, but also incapacitates it. Two other boys arrive to assist Shiki, with Kabani carrying the mosquito sister, informing Shiki of his victory. Soon, the boss mosquito makes her appearance. She has grown stronger, having feasted on the brains of her sisters, and she incapacitates Akira and Shiki. Only Kabane remains. Following advice from Mihai on using his kimono powers correctly, Kabane taps into incredible strength, tearing off the creature's limbs. Suddenly, Inari's new assistant, Nabamaru, appears and eradicates the remaining mosquito remains. He explains that this is necessary to protect the secret of the kimono species from humans. The next day, the group embarks on a road trip to uncover Shiki's parents' history. Upon arrival in the city, the boys explore until Kabane stumbles upon a book recounting a local legend. It tells the story of a man who, despite having little, shared his food with a spider he found in it. The next day, the man's home was draped in golden webs, leading to his prosperity. As they peruse the book, they notice a mysterious pink-haired girl observing Shiki. Soon after, Ugami arrives, announcing that he's located Shiki's uncle. They head into the forest where the man reveals that Shiki's father passed away while his mother was pregnant and later succumbed to an illness when Shiki was 5. At night in the bathroom, Nabamaru suggests exploring the forest to bring the group closer together. While in the forest, Shiki recollects his mother heading there for work, instructing him to stay behind. He follows her path and the others trail after him. Shiki arrives at a hut, recalling a traumatic memory of witnessing his mother engaging in horrifying experiments with a large demon kimono, leaving him traumatized. Inugami takes Shiki's uncle aside, and the man admits to his involvement in the experiments on Shiki's mother, leading to the creation of a kimono capable of producing golden silk with cell-restoring properties. Shiki overhears everything and confronts his uncle, but they are attacked by a giant kimono. As they face swarms of kimono creatures, Shiki's uncle reveals that these are Shiki's siblings, results of their experiments. The creatures collectively mimic his mother's voice, causing Shiki to collapse. A mysterious woman named Aya arrives and soothes the enraged kimonos, leading them to a healing lake. Meanwhile, Shiki is devastated by his mother's voice emanating from the demons and is unable to muster the strength to fight. He instructs Kabane to eliminate them. Kabane transforms and battles the creatures with Nabamaru's assistance. They defeat the monsters, including a colossal kimono. The battle ends, and Kabane stands ready to end it all, but Shiki decides against it, realizing that even their deaths won't bring his family back. Suddenly, Aya makes a dramatic entrance, questioning her father, Akio, about the whereabouts of the cocoon she had created. It's revealed that this cocoon is used to produce the coveted golden silk. Inugami decides to contact Mihai, who has been gathering data on Akio for a year. With Mihai's insights, they identify the 4 places Akio frequents most, leading Aya to realize where the cocoon might be hidden. In a swift turn of events, Shiki catches up and declares his intention to retrieve the cocoon himself. He plunges into the water and makes a shocking discovery. His mother is still alive. He brings her to the surface, unveiling a stunning revelation. His mother had been the golden web all along. They rescue her, and Inugami takes the group back to his place in Tokyo. Inugami informs Shiki that he knows of a place in the city where they can help his mother, and Shiki consents to leaving his uncle alive, realizing that erasing his legacy is a fate worse than death. However, as they depart, Nabamaru reappears and takes matters into his own hands, eliminating Shiki's uncle. Later, Aya fears that her brother Shiki might despise her, but Shiki reassures her. He acknowledges that her survival of their father's experiments is the reason their mother is alive today. Their mother awakens, overjoyed to see her children safe. At this moment, Aya joins the investigation team, and it's revealed she has developed feelings for Kabane, asking him out. Suddenly, Khan appears eager to challenge her, driven by jealousy at the sight of them together. Subsequently, Inugami reveals their next mission, confronting an invisible Kamino that has been disfiguring women's faces in a bid to become the most beautiful woman in town. Upon arrival, the Fox girl feels left out due to Aya's presence. She hears a mysterious voice pleading for help, and an invisible force targets Aya, prompting Kabane to act swiftly. A Kamino named Katanashi materializes and confesses to maiming girls to win the heart of a boy working in a nearby store. Khan loses control and attacks Aya, but Kabane comes to her defense, prompting Khan to retreat in tears. Back at the office, Inugami learns that Aya succeeded in providing Katanashi with a human body, ensuring she won't harm anyone else. At night, Kabane searches for Khan in the forest, where he comforts her as she secretly honors her other deceased kimono children. Later, the story introduces Yuri, Akira's twin brother. It delves into their past, where they were kept isolated by their strict mother. Despite their confinement, they shared a strong bond. Back at the office, Akira's repeated accidents inadvertently disrupt missions, leading to frustration among the team. She eventually runs away and reunites with her brother Yuri, who had been searching for her. They venture away from civilization, and Yui creates an ice castle for Akira to spend the night in. However, things take a dark turn as Yui's actions become concerning. Impressed by the castle, he attempts to share it on social media, but Yui destroys the phone and traps Akira. Inugami learns of this and intervenes, leading to a confrontation with Yui. Yui possesses a powerful null stone that can unleash kimono potential and reshape lands. Akira leaves the room and finds her friends seemingly frozen. Meanwhile, Inari and Nabamaru plan to obtain Yui's null stone. Yui has a flashback to his childhood when he was named the head of the ice village, revealing the trauma he endured while Akira remained innocent. Kabane manages to free himself and seeks a way to defeat Yui, but Akira, aiming to prevent a confrontation between her brother and her friends, pretends that it was her plan all along. In a sudden turn, Akira expresses her hatred for Kabane and declares her love for her brother, opting to live with him. As soon as her brother returns, she willingly leaves her friends behind. Inari appears in the castle, urging Kabane to help steal the nullstone, suggesting it may be connected to his parents. Reluctantly, Kabane agrees but warns Inari that if she's deceiving him about his parents, he'll handle it differently. Before departing, he insists on waiting until his friends are unfrozen. However, Inugami communicates with him using the bear, conveying that their friends are safe, and urging Kabane to find his parents and retrieve the null stone from Yui. Meanwhile, Yui and Akira are in the forest when Nabamaru appears, challenging Yui and demanding the null stone for Inari. A skirmish ensues, with Akira's intervention distracting Yui, allowing Nabamaru to touch the stone. However, Nabamaru's hand freezes to the bone and shatters, an unexpected consequence. Kabane steps in to defend him, and they devise a plan to defeat Yui. Nabamaru sets Kabane on fire, while Kabane uses his regeneration power to continually heal, countering Yui's ice with their firepower. Yui eventually encases himself in ice armor. In the meantime, Akira, still trapped in an ice cage, realizes the fog in the air is just water, enabling her to create a massive ice ball to free herself. Kabane and Yui engage in a relentless battle, with Nabamaru noting that if the flames overpower Kabane's regeneration, his body will collapse. He instructs Kabane to deliver 3 special strikes against Yui for victory. Kabane channels his strength to execute the 3 simultaneous blows, and during the final strike, Akira intervenes, explaining that the stone is sapping Yui's energy and protecting her. She removes the stone from Yui to save him, gaining access to all of his memories. Kabane's body regenerates, and he assists Akira in reviving her brother by merging his life stone with the null stone. Inari seizes the opportunity to steal the stone, but Inugami arrives in the nick of time, demanding its return, asserting that the artifact doesn't belong to her. At the hospital, Kabane inquires about the null and life stones, and Inugami reveals their ancient origins. Thousands of years ago, a war between kimono and humans devastated the lands for centuries, leading to the formation of these stones, reserved for the most powerful kimono. Kabane and Inugami then embark on a journey to find Kabane's parents. Thank you for following the story, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, take care.